Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. How is everybody? And how has astrophotography in 2026 been so far for you guys? Well, for me, this past fall and winter so far has been very cloudy and windy. I probably have had about 3 or 4 good clear skies, out of which I was only able to use half the time to photograph. However, I did buy a bunch of new gear. So if you have seen my first video, you know my primary interest is in shooting galaxies, galaxy clusters, and occasional nebulae. So in December, this last December, I bought the ASCAR 120 Apo telescope to pair it with my newly purchased 585 MC Air as well. But I did some test shots and I had to return back my ASCAR 120 Apo. I think it was having some optical issues. I noticed heavy chromatic aberration throughout the image and possible pinched optics going on. So I returned it back, and I had the option to either receive a different or a new copy of the ASCAR 120, or maybe choose a different scope or get my money back. I did some rethinking and finally decided on a new scope. It's still on its way to me at the time of recording this video. It might be a couple of more weeks till it arrives. And I'll make a separate dedicated video on that scope and how I will be using that to take my galaxy imaging. But for now, I'll give you a hint. It's similar aperture. It's 115 millimeter aperture f7 scope. It's very similarly priced to the ASCAR 120, and it has better optics, at least on paper. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think, what this scope is, and I'll share more once the scope is with me. And in the meantime, I did take some images of the magnificent M31 Galaxy with my wide field ASCAR FRA 300 Pro. And on the first night, when I was processing the data, I noticed prominent and heavy walking noise throughout the image. So on the second night, I dithered the image. And so is the purpose of making this video. I wanted to share how I use dithering and drizzle in my astro imaging. So let's start. Okay, so let's learn more about dither and drizzle with few slides first. So what is dither? Now it's an image acquisition method or technique where you command your mount via your guiding to move the telescope or your image train by few pixels in random direction, either after each subframe or after a set of subframes. Now, why do we want to dither? Now, basically the main reason is to get rid of noise. There are some fixed pattern noise, like walking noise. I call it rain showers. Now I'll show you this one through my example, which I recently found when I was taking some images with my ASCAR FRA 300 and 533 MC camera. But it can also get rid of hot pixels, banding, and other kind of noises. So when your noises are removed, basically your background is more smoother, your SNR improves, and thus it allows you to stretch your data further. That means a cleaner set of data. You can just stretch it a little bit more and reveal more fainter details if you have enough integration time. Why drizzle? So drizzle is, now for drizzling you must have to dither. Dither by itself will help you remove noise, but drizzle just takes you to the next level, especially when you have undersampled data. So it will help you shrink the pixels by a shrink factor. We will see the shrink factor when we go into PixInsight and how to set drizzling and everything, but it will help you reveal fainter and finer structures, recover some detail if your data is undersampled. Now if you see here, as I said, I was using ASCAR FRI 300 with my 533 mm camera, which has a pixel size of 3.76, and my resolution is like 2.59 arc second per pixel for a seeing of 2 to 4 good seeing conditions. So as you can see, I'm heavily towards the undersample. So when you drizzle, when you shrink the pixels, you basically move the scale more towards good sampling. So that is what drizzling helps us achieve. Now I have taken some images, just some screenshot. I thought showing it this way will help, because I'm not sure if I show you in PixInsight how much, after YouTube's compression, how much of the noise is visible. Anyways, I'll show you towards the end, but for now I just wanted to show you clearly. So this is a no dither data, and on the right we have dithered and drizzle data. So okay, now looking at it, I see it's not well aligned, but anyways, what you can see here, from top right to left bottom, there is this random lines like rain falling, showers. This is the walking noise. This is something which which is not good when you do your stretching. And on the right side, the same image basically was dithered on a different night after every frame, and then drizzled. You can see, I mean, the walking noise kind of goes away. And I attached this screenshot. Believe me, it was looking better on my image in PixInsight, but I hope it comes out clearly. So what I have tried to show here is, I just stretched the data like a little aggressively, and also applied a bit of saturation, again little aggressively, to show some obvious things. Now I have applied noise exterminator. Again, you can see this is very aggressive, but what I'm trying to show here is, it's not too visible, but these walking noise, if they are present in your images, then using tools like using sharpening tools like noise exterminator, can leave some artifact, and this is because the tool may think after the image is stretched that this is perhaps some structure, some faint structure, and it leaves some kind of artifact, or again unclean image, if these noise are not taken care of. So that's something I wanted to show. Let's move on to first, I'll show you in ASI Air how I set up dithering, and then we will go into PixInsight and see, once you have all the dithered data, what you can do to set up drizzling, and then we'll take a look at some examples from M31 of the noise versus no noise with dither and no dither. Okay, so I'm in ASI Air, and I'll show you quickly how I set up for dithering. So it's pretty straightforward. You go to the guide button, and then you have to scroll down, and then you see guide advanced settings, and then you click on dither and you just turn it on. Distance is basically the number of pixels you can set. These are the options. I tend to select 10 for my 533 MC camera, but you can select 30 if it's a larger sensor. Interval, again, you can select how many interval I do dithering after every frame. So that's about it. And under stability, I just leave it default. So if within 5 seconds the guiding is back to 2 arc seconds, it calls it good. And that's it. That's how I set up my guiding for dithering. Okay, so I'm here in PixInsight, and first let me show you how to do drizzle when you stack your photo. And this is only in PixInsight. You'll have to check other tutorials if you are using other processing platforms. So we go to WBPP, weighted batch pre-processing in PixInsight. Okay, so I mean, you add your lights, flats, darks, bias if you have all of them. Most of the time these days I just do lights and flats. I skip the darks. I collect bias since it takes no time. But the main thing for this tutorial, we'll go to post calibration, and we just have to check some boxes in this window here. It's for drizzle configuration. First you have to enable it. Fast mode, I haven't used that. Scale, I'll do 2. So each pixel is divided in 1 by 1 turns to 2 by 2. Drop shrink, if you just hold your mouse here, it shows a description of what it does, and I just go by what is recommended, which is 0.9, which is the default value. So I set it to 0.9. And then function, this is important. I have played around with this button here. So there are few options: square, circular, Gaussian, and var shape with different beta values. Now what I understand is, if you collect or if you dither less frequently, meaning let's say you are dithering every 5 frames or every 4 frames, that means you're not dithering that much, and in that case it may help to use simpler functions like square and circular, because it will process it better. But what I'm trying to say here is, if you want to use Gaussian or var shape, you need to also make sure you're collecting more data, else it might cause some kind of artifact, or the functions might not be smooth enough to generate good data. So as you know, I collect dithering. I do dithering every frame, especially when I'm taking longer exposures like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, or 5 minutes. And in that case, I use either Gaussian or var shape 1.5. I mean, I played around with this. They all give similar results. So you select one and then that's it. And then you just run it. So what it will do, it will create 2 files. As usual, when you process from PixInsight, it will give you your stacked file, but in this case it will also give you a drizzle file. So that's how we do drizzling. It's pretty straightforward, just few buttons that you need to take care of, and you can play around with these functions or the drop shrink values, but this is pretty standard. Now going into the data that I wanted to show, first data that I have here is on the M31 Galaxy. This is with no dithering done whatsoever. It looks good, not bad, but I'll show you some difference here. And then we'll compare this with data which has been dithered well, and both of them are about 46 frames of 5 minutes each. So exactly equal integration on both of them. So let's do one thing first. Let's synchronize the images so that we are zooming in equally on both. And what I wanted to show here, again, this is not a processing tutorial, so I won't do any kind of processing. I just wanted to show you the walking noise that I was talking about. So as I zoom in, here, you can see, I hope YouTube shows it, like it doesn't compresses and these grains don't vanish. But as I keep zooming, there is a very prominent from the top right to left bottom, there are these lines. I call them showers. They are throughout the image. So you can see this, right? This is throughout the image, wherever I go. So entire frame is basically, this is what happens if you don't dither. And we can see here there is a hot pixel or a bunch of hot pixels here actually. And again, there is no hot pixel here, and you can see that since this data is properly dithered, I mean the walking noise just has gone. And why I don't want this walking noise in my data, I mean for the same reasons I just mentioned earlier, which is if you stretch your image with this existing walking noise, it will kind of show up in your stretched data. And if you aggressively do noise reduction like noise exterminator, the noise exterminator tool might think some of these noise as some structure, and this will just be there in your in your final image. So I have done that, and that's what happens. So dithering properly gets rid of this noise, and it just cleans up the data. When I run noise exterminator, it removes the color mortal, and there is no any artifact left in the image. So I mean that's the only reason I like to do it there. And I also, for this particular data, I also went ahead and drizzled it. I don't drizzle often, but I just wanted to show that maybe in some poorly collected data and a poorly undersampled data, dithering might be of help. So as you can see, there is a big difference. If I just minimize this again, and let's just zoom in a little bit more, you see these noise here, walking noise, no walking noise, but in general this is noisier, right, which is expected. This one is just, since the pixels are smaller now, the noise seems to be not there when we zoom out, right? So what does this do? Again, the same thing, same benefits. Your noise exterminator tools can work really well. The star will appear sharper, and again, there is no processing done on any of these images to this point so far. The stars will appear rounder and sharper. Overall, the image is just cleaner, and it will help you with the post-processing to a great deal. Stretching the data further, maybe if you have collected really high integration time, it will help you reveal those faint structures which might be hard to pull out if you have some grains and walking noises like this. So that's about it. I just wanted to do a very quick video on dithering, how to dither and how do you drizzle it. And thank you for watching this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, or if it helped you anyway. Please support me by subscribing my channel. I do intend to make a lot more videos on deep sky astrophotography, especially now that I'm rebuilding my galaxy hunting rig. I plan on making a lot more videos in the coming months. You can also support me by using my affiliate link to make any purchase of any astro gear at no extra cost to you. Until then, I wish all of us clear skies, and here is my photo of M31. Thank you.